Dr. Jeff here in Costa Rica at Rythmia. We have an amazing program. And I was just thinking about what are some reasons that people come here? Like why do guests enroll and go through our week-long program? It's there's all these different reasons. And a big part of it is that they're going through something in their life and they don't know what to do, or they've maxed out in their ability to hold everybody else's emotions, or they have a lot of depression and they've tried meds and they've tried therapy and they've tried every single sort of protocol that exists to try to get past their depression, but they still feel those symptoms, or they have anxiety, or they have a history of trauma, or they were in the military and they're veterans, they have PTS, or they had sexual trauma from childhood, or they had abuse from growing up, or being scared when they were little and they just never really resolved it, or they can't quite find that person that they want to be in a relationship with, and they date people and they have relationships, but it's never really the right one, and they're wondering, like, well, the common denominator is me, so it must be me that's the problem, and they're trying to find something, and we have that pretty much sums up like who comes to Rhythmia. Like people that maybe in the past struggled with a substance abuse issue, and now they have a year of sobriety or 5 years of sobriety, and they're still what I used to call white knuckling their recovery, because they're still like they're sober, but they're just like they don't feel quite right, and they used substances in the past as sort of a self-medication, and it obviously evolved into a problem, and now they don't know what to do, and there's all these life situations that we all go through. Maybe they lost a family member recently. Maybe they burned out at their job. There's all these different situations. And those people that have those things going on are the perfect type of guests for Rhythmia, because what Rhythmia does is it helps you get focused. It helps you clear up all this emotional baggage. It helps you get rid of anything you're holding on to that's not serving you anymore. It helps you figure out like who you really are, first of all, and what you really want. And it helps you connect with the true you. This is what this program does. And it's a week long. And we use a lot of different modalities here. It's a really beautiful property. And we have breath work that we do, and we have yoga every morning, and we have meditation classes, and we have lectures and workshops, and we have ayahuasca 4 nights a week, and we have integration classes, and we have a clinic here, and we have nurses and doctors and counselors and holistic staff and shamans and all these people that are here with one purpose: to help you get what we call a miracle. And a miracle, from our definition, is a soul merger. It's when you're connected back to the true you and you have clarity. Whenever I have an issue that I'm working on and I'm trying to, maybe I hit a dead end, or I'm overwhelmed and I'm working too much, and my temper is getting a little out of hand, and I don't feel healthy, and I'm maybe not taking care of myself, and I'm just eating whatever, like that's a time where I go, okay, what am I doing wrong? How can I regroup? How can I refocus? And I'll go and I'll have an ayahuasca session to help me ground myself and get clarity. Now, a lot of you guys don't live in Costa Rica, so you don't have access to this. And I do. I live here. I've been here 10 years. So I have access to this. But what I see in the 17,000 people that have been through this program is that the 1 week program changed their life. That's what they say. That's what the guests report. And about 98% of the people that come through Rhythmia report that they achieved a life-changing miracle. And so what does that even mean? Well, this week, we got a lot of people that are here from all over the globe, from Europe and from the Middle East and from Asian countries, from South America, North America, all over the world. People from Hawaii, which is part of the US, of course. I lived in Hawaii. It's funny, when I moved to New York from Hawaii, people would say, oh, well, we don't cover your cell phone service because that's a foreign country. I'm like, yo, man, Hawaii's part of the US. Anyway, but we have people from Hawaii here this week. We have people from all over the world, and they are here for one purpose: to clear up their life, get focused, get rid of any sort of biases they have about themselves, and any sort of mental blocks that have impeded their happiness and their success. And then they're clearing all this stuff out, and then they have clarity and they're focused. And then they go home and they work on themselves and they have these new tools. And sometimes people struggle when they get home because they've learned all these new things and they don't know how to use them. And so we have an app that we provide for everybody for free that helps them use the tools and reminds them of the tools that they learned at Rythmia so they can integrate and continue to use this protocol when they get home. And this is a life-changing week. This is a life-changing protocol. And it was inspired by our founder and CEO, Jerry Powell, who had some amazing plant medicine experiences in 2014. And it helped him change himself, and it helped him get some clarity for a facility like this that we wanted to have so that we could invite people from all over the world to get a healing like he did. And, you know, as a person working in psychology back in Los Angeles, and I have a doctorate in psychology, and I went to UCLA for my master's degree in public health. And I have a lot of experience in healthcare, tons of all the different settings. I worked in the places where people struggled the most in life: psychiatric hospitals, reproductive health clinics with trauma work for women that have been through trauma, drug and alcohol rehabs, and all different behavioral addiction facilities, and places where people were really, really struggling and didn't know what to do. Those are the environments that I was trained in for a long time, for over 20 years. And what I saw in those environments was a lot of people that are hurting and a lot of people that just wanted to feel better and to learn how to act in a way that was more productive for them. And unfortunately, the system that all those people were in, pretty much what it does is it stabilizes you. It helps you feel that you're not going to do anything crazy, that you're going to just get to this level of baseline of stabilization. That's the goal. And then from there, you're supposed to advance and thrive after that. But what I saw is that wasn't happening because nobody was teaching the clients what to do after. And if they did, there wasn't the right support. So there's all these deficiencies in the way I was trained and what I learned. And so what I've seen with Rythmia, is that the big difference is that it empowers you to make these changes. It empowers you to be your own therapist, to be your own consultant, to be your own visual eyes that you need for you to see what path you want to take. It empowers you. And I like to use the word, it gives you personal sovereignty. Sovereignty is a big deal. And that's what it does. It empowers you. It helps you feel connected. And then when you're connected, you can connect to other people in an authentic way. And, you know, this life, in my opinion, you know, it's just about being happy and connecting with other people and having success in the ways that you want to and not harming anybody else. And we all have different visions and versions of what that looks like. But I think generally speaking, that's a good goal, right? To be happy, to connect with self and others, and to have success in a way that you want to, that doesn't hurt anybody else. And that's the goal of Rythmia. I'd like to see you guys down here soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.